Hello, and this is TomTomGo98, and I am doing an unboxing video of the XYZ Printing 3D printer I got, which is pretty awesome. I was really into 3D printing and learning how it worked, so I bought one, so it was really cool. So, here's the box it came in. It had the black straps holding it together, and once you unbox the top part, you get like basic stuff that comes with it, like the scraper, the USB cable, stuff like that. And there's a lot of styrofoam to hold in the printer so it doesn't break during shipping, which it didn't, which I was really happy because there have been multiple complaints that they've had their LCD screen break in shipping. And it comes with one spool of white filament right there. I also got black and white filament. So here's the stuff in the first part that came. It came with the CD with the software. We already installed that off their website. An instruction manual, the warranty, stuff like that, and basically how to set up your printer for the first time. Then it comes with like some cleaning tools to clean the extruder. You got the shield door things for the handles, and basically that. And then we have the printer itself, which is pretty big and heavy, but it has those handles in the side, which makes it a lot easier to carry. And there's the power and more styrofoam. So taking apart the printer was pretty easy. There's just a lot of bags and cardboard. So there's the initial bag you take off. They make the tape orange color, so it's pretty easy to notice if you missed any. But I take off the bag here, and then you just keep taking off. Basically, there's the plastic wrap stuff to protect the clear plastic coating, and then you got all the orange stickers surrounding the printer. So you can see inside there's everything's really nicely protected. It's shipped very well. It's not broken, nothing broke, yeah. So taking apart, taking all the stuff off wasn't that hard. It just took a couple minutes of your time. I wanted to go really fast so I could plug this thing in and get its first print in. So I was pretty anxious. So there's the back door thing where you plug in the USB, the power supply, and there's a switch in the back. Now there's this cardboard thing to keep the plate from moving up and down. And that actually was kind of hard to take out. Like, I didn't want to break it. That would be a shame, but I got it out after a couple tries. And then you have the tape and some styrofoam pieces holding that base plate, the heated base plate in there. And then there's also some parts up on the top where they hold the belt and the bars that go horizontally in place. So, and there's tape holding them there too. So here is me taking the styrofoam parts out. Those are pretty easy to take out. They just slide out. And then there's the orange part right there, which has tape, and then you just unscrew it. Pretty easy, and it came out with your hands. And then there's that orange part that's on the filament, basically, where if there's filament that's left over, it just drops it in there instead of on the ground, which is a pretty good idea. So there's some tape on there, and once you get the tape off, you can easily take it out and clean it up. So there's the white filament out of the container, and you have to remove that little white dot plug thing on it. I don't know why you have to, but it's required. And then you just put the filament back in the back of the printer. You want to make sure you put it in the right way so the chip on the bottom connect to the little connector on the bottom, and it should slide in perfectly. And then you move the white thing you moved over to secure it in the top. And once it's secured, you can take the filament from the top of the spool and thread it through. There's this little clear tube, and then you put it right on top of the extruder. So that wasn't too hard. The hard part is to get the filament actually to go all the way through the filament to go through the extruder all the way the first time. It took my dad and I a couple of tries to put it back in all the way. So you got to push pretty hard. And it starts heating up, and once you do that, then we finally got it to come through. And when it comes through, you like say, yep, it worked, and it knows there's filament running. And it's weird, the filament that we put in there was white, but what actually came out was yellow. So we're guessing that the factory or something put yellow filament to test it. And then, so the first part of our print was yellow. So it was pretty interesting. And then you want to put this glue on top of the base, which helps the ABS connect to the base better. And then the print that we started was a demo print called the Star Vase, which when it's finished, it looks actually really nice. So you can see here the base is going up all the way to the top to where the extruder is. And it's, I don't know why it did that little up-down thing. And then you have to wait until the base and the extruder are at this right temperature. We found out the platform has to be around like 70, 90 Celsius, and then the extruder is like 220, around there. So right now, see, you could see that some of the filament got stuck on there, but that was fine. There's a little cleaning thing it does, but some of it got stuck, but when it was printing, it was just fine. It came off, and we were able to pick it up. So right now, there's a little button right next to the head of the extruder, and it's I think it's calibrating right now, so it presses it down, and then the base moves down, and it moves, and it does that to like all the corners. So there, it's moving to the second corner, and you can see it rises up, and that little button, that little dot right next to the funnel, and then it goes back down, and then it just moves away, and it only did that for our first print. So right now it's starting to print, and before anything prints, it always does like a general outline of the work area of when it's printing. So there, now it's starting to print the actual shape. And it tells you when it's building, and it tells how much time's passed and the estimated time it will take to finish. Right there, it was like 999 hours, but after it starts actually working and thinking, it was about 1 hour to print this. So right now it finished doing the first layer, and it's going back and forth filling in what it outlined. In the first couple layers of building it, it was a lot slower, and then after that it sped up quite a bit. And here's the finished product, and it just finished, and it looks pretty cool. And then after it's done printing, it will tell you it's cooling and you don't want to touch it. It lets you you can skip it and remove it right away, but you probably don't want to burn yourself. So you just wait until it cools down, and then the base lowers down all the way, and then you can remove it. And this is where it's starting to move down. Now it says you can remove your object. So you just take the scraper thing, and I thought it was actually going to take a lot of force to remove it from the base, but it was actually pretty easy. I could have probably just like took it up with my hands, but didn't know that. So for the first print, it actually has pretty nice detail, and see, you can see at the bottom it had a little bit of yellow on the outside from the initial print. But that's the daVinci 1.0 printer made by XYZ Printing, and I hope